Hello and welcome to a very badly lit episode of Bloke on the Range. I'm here with The Chap, who you may remember.
Now, in an earlier video, I took you through the 1851 Feldstutzer, which is effectively a militarised target rifle. Now, it just so happens that The Chap has one of the multifarious earlier prototypes that led from a pure Stutzer, i.e. supported shooting target rifle, to the final adopted military 1851. Now, perhaps the best thing is if I let him talk you through it.
Right, I'll try and do my best to highlight the differences. First of all, when I got this rifle, I thought this was just another derivative of this one. However, I chanced on having a book on the early Swiss military firearms percussion era, and there was a picture of this exactly. So this is an 1848 Zurich prototype Stutzer, which was used in the trials when they were developing the Federal Carbine, which was actually the first universal Swiss infantry firearm. Before that, every canton was free to do what they wanted. So yes, so this actually predates this one. And in fact, when you look through the details, this is in fact a simplified and ruggedized version of this rifle. We can basically break down the features.
Let's start at the back.
Let's start at the back and go forward. Right, the obvious feature is a nice cheek rest here, which, well, nice to have, but frankly...
Totally useless.
Yeah, exactly.
Butt
So
plates
they got rid of that.
butt plates are basically identical.
Yep, butt place is identical. Go on the top, there's a slight construction design, but it's hooked breech, both of them. The obvious difference here is the sights. What they've done here, or what they did do here, was a rack and pinion arrangement, if you can see that, which you would raise and lower the sight. There is. Clever idea in principle, and it's well protected, but the pinion here is a weak point. And if you can see it there, that it's been completely, the teeth have been completely worn away. Plus, this has to be built into the sight leaf with springs and tiny screws, and which is just overly complicated. So here they changed to a, let's say, standard Swiss quadrant
With a clamp.
with a clamp.
Oh, I had that zeroed, you sod. God.
Too bad.
Oh well.
Right. Now the other obvious feature is this one's got a fully octagonal barrel. Again, nice to have, not really necessary, expensive to make, whereas it's got the traditional octagonal start in the breech area going to round. Then on the outside of the lock, they've got this weird sort of retaining nut, which is just asking to be taken apart, fiddled with and lost by the average soldier, so they've just got a standard screw here. Now the interesting feature, which I can't really show you because it's tiny, is inside the lock on the tumbler is a fly. Now a fly is a little flap on the tumbler which, when the trigger is pulled, drops down into the half-cock notch and allows the sear to slip past without any catching or potential catching. So it gives a much smoother let-off with a tumbler that has a half-cock, as this one does. So that's half-cock, that's full-cock. This was a feature of target pistols, target rifles, even in the flintlock era. Again, nice to have, but it's an extra complication. However, they went the step further and completely removed the half-cock notch on this one. It's either full cock or fired. That's it. So I don't know why they decided to do that. All the other normal Swiss infantry long arms had a half-cock, so don't know the reasoning behind that. They both have set triggers. This one is so finely adjusted I can't get it out without any risk of damaging it, so I'm assuming it's the same inside, internally. The mechanism was pretty standard at the time. They both have an adjustment screw to set, so for all intents and purposes they seem to be identical there. If you follow the general line of the wood, the 51 is much bulkier. This one is a bit slimmer. It comes here. Fittings for the rod are identical. And then we have bayonet fitting is identical. If you look on my website, which has the full details of this one, you'll see the plug bayonet that goes into here.
I'll put a link to your website in the description below.
Okay. They made a slight. They've raised the front sight here, but I'm guessing it's probably to compensate the round barrel.
They're both extremely ridiculously fine front sights that are totally out of proportion with the V-notch
Oh yeah, it's
in
cavernous.
the 51.
The V-notch is cavernous.
I mean, this one, now that we've been, let's get the light back over, now that we've been taken out of adjustment anyway, let's just bring it up. It's just vast. And you take a really, really fine sight.
This one's slightly smaller, but
it's also a bit more U-shaped.
yeah, but looking down it makes no difference.
Oh,
it's still
God,
lost in the middle of the valley.
Yeah, you could be looking down the Grand Canyon at a tiny little pin.
Okay, and then the last two features.
Let's see if we can get the light round.
See the crowns. Now this one has a typical stepped target crown.
A slight chamfer on it, slight angle on it, but not much.
And well, this one has a
Deep,
beveled.
much more military, much more rugged, designed to protect the end of the rifling.
Yeah, you get dings on this, and it will crumple all around the edges. It won't really impact much, but
This is much closer to its target rifle forebears than this. This is a quite a significant ruggedization of the business end.
I mean, if you look at the later Peabody and the Vetterli, they all have this crown.
Right, let's get them up vertical and look at the ramrods.
And this is a difference that surprised me when I first pulled the ramrod out when I got this. I've been used to this rifle, which has a static or a fixed stopper moulded in or cast in or whatever to the ramrod, which limits the insertion, which theoretically gives you repeatable pressure on the service ammunition. So I was expecting this one to have the same, but not at all. Again, showing its target rifle origins, it's got a sliding brass guide, which is captive.
Oh, we're not got enough height in here.
So yep, there we go. So it's already got a brass tip to protect the rifling, but also when you're loading, and you have enough room, it fits nicely in that crown there, which is lovely. Protects the rifling all the way down. But if you were loading this fast and in the heat of battle, it's just asking to get broken or caught or something. So they got rid of that and they adopted this, which, well, it's very good for repeatable loading, but of course if you're using slightly less load, you could end up with an air gap between your bullet and your charge,
Which you don't really want.
which you don't really want. So there we are. Now the interesting thing is let's see how these things shoot. I haven't shot this one yet. because of the lack of literature on this rifle, there's one page in one book which covers this one. So we don't even know who made them, how many were made. Speaking to fellow Swiss collectors, the highest number known is 77. This one's number 29. If you look here, there's the Zurich canton shield there. So, you know, it was officially a service rifle, if only for a couple of years. So, because we don't have anything to go on, we're going to use the service charge information of the 51.
And in fact, bullets sized specifically for this rifle, and this bore is a little bit tighter than that one. So we'll have to see how it goes, see how much the expansion bullets actually set up.
Yep. Alright.
So let's take it to the range and give it a go. Now, as usual, these are our 300 grain .407 inch compression bullets, solid base, weak section in the middle. When the gas pressure hits it, it sets up and takes the rifling, and we lube it with our usual petroleum based universal bearing grease.
Alright.
Yep.
Go.
That's the face of a happy man.
It is. Very happy. Anschlagen. Feuer. Right. Got my finger nicely toasted there. Okay. Well then. Yep. Anschlagen. Feuer. Yep. Anschlagen. Feuer. Yep. There we go.
Yep.
Anschlagen.
Nou, schalt toch wel goed uit.
Feuer. What?
You having trouble there?
Yeah, you can go off.
Oh, precies, het is ook zo in de doos.
Dat is een sectie open graad.
Een sectie hoog.
Jawel.
Appa, hoe die begeleid jongeren
Ja,
al.
ruimte
Ah, die
hier.
onder die. Wanneer ik ook mij van jong is, ben ik het uitgezet. Ja, dus.
Going up high.
Ja, wel, ik
Kijk,
moet
dit
het
is rijden. Wat een twee.
Do another one for good luck.
Ja.
Het zijn nou voor boven doen, hè? Hé, dat dan. Nee, dan zeg ik het boven doen. Ja, dan zeg ik het boven doen. Het zijn boven doen.
Feel good?
Oh, good. Wow. You know how old habits die hard. I'm still tapping twice despite it having to stop.
Wat heb je gezegd, Jan? Hebben we nog gehoord?
Ja. Het steekt weer op de houten 20.
Watch the smoke waft away across the range. Great fun.
Maar nog wat is. Maar hebben die viltjes hebben opgelien.
Hè?
So that's the 1848, and that's the 1851. No surprises that the bullets fit the 1851 better, they're a bit loose in the 48. You never believe how long it took the chap to produce all that. Well, it was about 2 minutes.
Oh, that and a good rag, yeah.
50-50 ballastol water, aka moose milk. The best black powder cleaning product ever devised by man, fish or fowl.
Best the man can make.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, like our Facebook page, and I hope to see you again on the range sometime. Bye! That there is really not designed for shooting anywhere other than standing. My word, that caught me.
Otherwise it's got no recoil.
Yeah, as the chap just said, when you're standing up there's practically no recoil to these things because they're quite heavy, but squatting down to try and get it on film, oh. Yeah, that's smarts.
Here ended the lesson.